Hello, welcome to this fifth tutorial about how to manage records in uh, in your dashboard. By creating doing modifications and doing different various interactions around records in your own space. So in the last tutorial we talked about project management from the online standpoint and point of view. So this one also is for managing records, but from the online point of view. So as I mentioned in the last tutorial, in the previous tutorial, there will be another one about another tutorial about how to use automated tools to push projects and records. So this part is pretty much to demo the capability of also managing your project records and all around them online. So I'm gonna log back in again with the tutorial credentials. All right. Now we'll log back in again. So I should have mentioned also that in the previous tutorial when creating the project, there was only 20 projects, and then after creating that one, the statistics increased. And also now that we're gonna manipulate the records, it's gonna also impact the number of records. The same thing happened for the users. When we created the tutorial user, it increased by 1. So I'm gonna go back to the dashboard part. So if you want to know more about how the project box how the project box is composed of, what the project box is composed of, please refer to the previous project, the preview video that would give you more information about that. So we mentioned in the previous one that this button here is about uploading records. So we know that the records view can be accessed in 2 ways by now. So there is this one that allows you to see all the records in this project. So if you see on the top here, the URL changed. This is the project ID, the last one. So this view is customized and showing the records on this project. So if I go back here, we're back on this view, the activity view. And on top here we have records, but this is showing all the records, so there is no reference to a specific project. We'll just list them list them all. So here also in the activity diagram here, we have 3 different ways of showing statistics about records per project. So here we don't have anything, and the project line is pretty flat and green. So now let's try to upload a record. So here's how we create a record. Automatically, when you try to create a record, it will pull up the project ID. You don't have to care about this one. So now we can add tags about what we're trying to do inside the project. So this record should be seen as a single execution scheme, meaning running a simulation at once, or running a machine experiment at once. So here I can say machine learning. Let's say classification random forest, even if I don't know what it means. What are the rationals here? The rationals means what are the keywords that would make you or me, if you're the person creating the records, recall what you did specifically in this record. So I can say testing the SciPy library. So I'm testing the SciPy library here, so that means I'm using that. And then here we have a status drop box that allows you to say which state the execution is into. So you can say finished, crashed, starting, started, paused, sleeping, resumed, and running. So this encapsulates both computational and experimental. So yeah, these states are pretty much the state of a process in a computing operating system. So we'll leave it to finished, and then we hit on create. So now you see that in the activity diagram we have a peak for January with one record, and here this displays online project 1, and on the bar here we have 1 record. So if I go back to the home page though, you will see that there is a record that was created. Now it's 85. So let's go back here. So now down here doing the statistics of the project, we have 1 record. If I click on that, we'll see the records. So those are the information that we provided. So that's the project ID, so you don't have to worry about that. And you have also this project, this record box is composed of 3 sections too. The top one with some menus, the middle one with some information, and the bottom one with some statistics and links to go to different parts. So in the middle one, as I was saying, you have the ID, you have the creation date, you have the update kind of duration, and you have the tags, you have the rationals, and you have the status. So these 3 can be modified by clicking this button. So if I don't want to put random forest anymore, classification, I can just say random forest and then save it. So that's being saved as is. And so on the bottom here we have the number of inputs during of entries during the execution, the number of outputs, that means productions during the execution, and the last one is about the dependencies. What did this execution, this record, depend on? So if we provide more information, it will be increased here. So this is a selection button, so I will explain later why we need a selection button. This is for the assessment part of creating different connection between records. So this is edition, what we just showed. This is for uploading an environment. I will explain later on what an environment is and in an abstract way and how to upload one. This is for downloading. We can download this record as is, even if there is nothing inside. And this is for uploading content. The last one here is for deleting the record. So let's go back here and create a bunch of records with no information provided at all. That's the second one, and then that's the third one. So I'm gonna also create another project, a fake one, just for the sake of showing 2 different projects in different records inside them. So now we have fake one, or upload 1 record. So we have now 4 records in this dashboard. You see the different proportion of records in my dashboard. Here on the lines, you see the tallest one is the first project, the online project 1, and the second one is the fake one. And also you have the stat bar here that shows the different statistics about the number of records in this month of January. So now if I go back here to all the records, I should see 4 of them. So with the project names below, so 3 for online project 1 and 1 for fake one. So let's go back here, then down here in online project, I want to delete this one. So I just have to confirm this, and then we have only 2 for this project, and if I go back here, we have only the 2 of them here. So now let's talk about some other features, some of the other features in the project views that you can do, in the records views that you can do. So now on the project, the online one, as I told you, these 2 buttons are for uploading and downloading stuff into records. So let's try to download this record here. So so inside a record, there are 2 types of content inside. So you have metadata-based contents. Those are all these JSON files that are from the core internal way of recommending our record should be structured. So it's a recommendation. there's no enforcement on how diverse tools connect to the core backend and push records. So, but the online part follows this recommendation. So basically, what you have here, you have a record JSON structure. I'm gonna show it to you guys in a minute. If I can move this here. So the content is pretty much straightforward information about the project, the owner of the project, the rationale that was pushed, the status, some system information about the system in which the record was performed, the tags, obviously, and then the type of access to the record. It's quite public right now. So this is the record part. The record has a body, and the body, this one doesn't contain anything. Remember that this project is this record is a bare one, so we don't have any dependencies either. So no inputs, no outputs. The execution also is empty, so everything is pretty much empty. So this file doesn't contain, this record doesn't contain any like consistent information apart from what was provided from the view. So that's the first part that I wanted to show, how to download records that is bare, that has almost nothing. And also in this section here we have the upload part. The upload part has this top here that gives the record ID, and there's this drop down here that allows you to pick on which part of the record you want your upload to interact with and change some content. So we have the record body. So basically here, when you upload stuff to the record body, it's gonna try to grab all the different fields that your content, your file are providing, and if some of them match the internal structure of the core schema representation, it will store it to the right place. If it doesn't match, it's gonna store it to the record extended field body. So I'll show you how this works. So right now, for example, I'm gonna pick a file that was provided by a colleague, Daniel Wheeler. So let me see. I will show you also the file so that it's fair this way. So meta, yes, I found it. So open with Git. So this file is coming as the following. It's a record for a benchmark for chime at face fill. So this describes things in a specific way that doesn't follow much what core internal structure of schemas is following. So, but anyways, it would still work. And when you when I use this file as an element to upload to the body, it's gonna just fill it into the extended field in the record body, because it would not find places where to fit this in. So this is the content. I'll keep it to show better later how this impacts the internal structure. And then after, this is a YAML file. So below here there is a Dropbox that sets that allows you to pick between 3 different formats: JSON, YAML, and XML. And this is kind of the recommendation that in which core would expect the body content. So this is the JSON structure. If you pick YAML, it would switch to YAML. So, and if you pick XML, it will switch to XML also. So this file is a YAML file. We'll pick YAML, and then we'll upload this one onto this record. So now on this record, still nothing changed, because there is no proper way that this file here provided the inputs or the outputs or the dependencies. So that's why there is no update in this side. And if we download the record back again, as we did previously, there is pretty much no change in the record itself. So let me bring this back here. So there is no change in the record itself. So, but if I look into the body, as I mentioned, the body contains the actual content. The extended field body here, the content field in the body is the extended field in the records that can store extra information that doesn't follow the principle of the schema. That's how that's how the core internal, the platform internal model structure is. So it would always tend to fit what the upload content is. So it would fit with the content that it has. If it doesn't fit, it will put it into some open field, extended fields. So the content here is retranscribed as JSON in this section here. So you will see everything is there. So yeah. All right, that's one side that I wanted to show. So it's not done yet. Now we just we did it was the body upload. So there's also 3 other ways of uploading files. These are raw files uploads. So if you want to upload an input file, you can do that. Now we can do that. We'll do that later on. But what I want to show also is pick a file to upload the body. That is pretty much standard. So I have some few files here, if you can find them. Record.yaml. So I'm gonna show you how the record.yaml looks like too. So this is the record.yaml. It follows the internal structure of core. So it provides the information about the system in a proper way, the execution in a proper way, the inputs, output, so on and so forth in a proper way. So when I push this, all these would be stored in a proper way, but this one is an unknown key to the core internal structure. So these are gonna go to the content body again. So you would see that in the dependency is going to increase by 2. Now it's currently 0. If you take a look back there, it's 0. The inputs, we would have 1 file. The output, you will have 1 file. So even if we don't provide the file, this is the metadata about the files. So it increase the statistics also. So let's do that now. So we go back here and we do the upload. So now you see that what I was mentioning, you have 1 input, 1 output, 2 dependencies. And if we download this record back again, then we have these in the inputs, we pretty much see the content that was provided for the inputs. The output will see also 1 provided. The dependencies will see 2 provided. So basically that's what happened in the body. We have another key that is provided also in the content. It doesn't erase what was already there. It will override if the field already exists, but if it doesn't, it will just create a new field. And if we go into the record section, we now have information about the system that is provided in the proper way with the content that we just uploaded. So now I'm gonna try to upload just a simple file as an input file. So just as an information, when you upload files, either may they be input, output, or resources from the website, to make a distinction between the automated upload and the online upload, there is a convention here that was taken. Everything uploaded from the web part is a resource, and then inside the record you can reindex them anyhow you want. So this pretty much allows you to build custom build records that suits your needs, because sometimes you don't want to upload everything, and maybe the tools that you'll be using will be too much invasive, and you want to custom design your uploads so that people can actually get them and have them being useful right away to them, especially for machine uploads. Maybe sometimes you want to be a little bit careful about what you upload. So here we're going to just upload the MML strategic plan. So it's a PDF file. So let's upload this. So now if I download this back again, it takes quite a bit longer because it has more data. And then inside we have inputs. This is characterized as an input, but actually it would be a resource. It would be indexed as a resource because it was provided from the web part. So this may change in the future depending on how things goes, but we had a certain reasoning that brought us to use it this way. And if I open this file here, it would just open it as is. So it's the same file that was uploaded. There is no corruption, no change at all. So this is how you manipulate, manage records, metadata, and data from the online standpoint of view. So this is pretty much it for the online way of managing records. So currently, if we take a look, I have 3 records, added more. The statistics change a little bit. Now the storage increased it a little bit, but it's not visible enough, I suppose, because it's only 400K, and it's increased in gigabytes. So, and in gigabyte and megabytes. So that's why it's not that visible right now. So yes, so this is the 2 project and the 3 records. So now in the next video of this tutorial, I'm gonna talk about how you create environments, because records need to be defined within environments if it's possible, and because you would be able to share also environments separately from the record themselves, and in some cases people would only need the environment. We'll give more description and more details about environment here that are provided through this button, and they're listed in this 3 statistics of the projects as here. Thank you, and see you.